Before we begin, I request all the audience who have joined us through Zoom to kindly put your videos off and to stay on mute. Thank you. A bright Thursday morning to all those of you who have joined us today for the orientation program of the undergraduate courses. On behalf of the Oxford fraternity, I, Meghna, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, extend a warm welcome to all the first year undergraduate students, the newest members of the Oxford family, who have just set foot into a very important milestone of your lives. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to our vice principals as well as to all the class coordinators. The main objective of conducting this orientation program today is to create a healthy and student-friendly environment right from day one that builds a sense of belonging and connects you to the college, faculty, staff, and fellow students. It will help to facilitate your transition and integration into the college's learning culture. This platform is given to you to help acquire a framework of expectations, understand the various curricular and co-curricular activities, and to educate you all on the norms and standards that are to be followed in the college. As it is rightly said, when you pay attention to the detail, the big picture will take care of itself. In this regard, you are requested to remain attentive throughout all the sessions for the next few days, as you all will have something to look forward to. To begin this program, I invite Dr. Bharati S., Vice Principal, Dean Academics and Head, Department of Microbiology. Dr. Bharati is a luminary with distinct vision and a fountainhead of innovative ideas. A doctorate degree holder from CFTRI Mysore, she has an extensive teaching and administrative experience of over 20 years. She has been a resourceful guide and peer evaluator for many MPhil and PhD students of various renowned universities. Dr. Bharati has been serving as chairperson of the Board of Examinations for MG University, Kerala since 2007. She has served as former chairperson of the Board of Examination for Microbiology at Bangalore University. She is also a member of the Board of Examination and Board of Studies for both undergraduate as well as postgraduate microbiology courses under Bangalore University and also a number of autonomous institutions. Having published more than 25 research articles in peer-reviewed journals, Dr. Bharati has been awarded with seed money for young scientists in the year 2013 from Vision Group on Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka. Not only has she been a valuable resource person for various national and international conferences, but she was also a keynote speaker at an international conference in Cairo, Egypt. Ma'am, I request you to take over the virtual platform to emphasize and enlighten our students on the academic strategies at Oxford.
Thank you, Ms. Meghna, for your kind introduction. A very good morning to all of you who have joined us on the YouTube live streaming. And I extend a very, very warm welcome to all the new members of our Oxford. Any problems? Okay. So let me start with you for what purpose I am here today. So today I'm trying to orient you with various aspects. I know you have lots of questions in your mind, because the question numbers would have been doubled this time, because you are all not meeting us physically. So you're all in your places in your own comfort level. Rather, I would not call it as a comfort because of Corona, because you were also eager to meet us physically. So as we are, and definitely students, I'm missing all of your physical presence here. Every year I do this orientation, I would go nostalgic and I would always recall my college days and the first day at my graduate school. But anyway, the technology has helped us to stay connected. So whether it is physical or virtual, we are meeting each other. The only thing is I'm missing all your pretty new faces. Fine. I'm here to solve so many of or answer many of your questions, like what is my course is on and for how many years it is and how it is actually framed and how am I to go about, what is my language to be taken, what are the optional subjects I'm going to study, where, why, how, when, all these questions will be answered. I will give a try for that. Before that, I would just like to take you on the screen sharing. Wait just a minute. Give me one moment to share the screen. Yes, I think you can see my screen here. Fine. So I wish you were here to have these activities. This is your college activities which will be happening. But very soon we all will be meeting in a month or so. And to briefly explain you and let you know the history of the Oxford, because you are all Oxfordites from yesterday. So our Oxford College of Science was started in the year 1994 with only 12 students and 5 teachers. A very, very humble beginning we started students. And today we celebrate the silver jubilee of this college. So from past 25 years, the college has registered a phenomenal growth, and presently the college caters education to more than 3,200 students in various disciplines every annual year. So this is the college vision, wherein we participate in the nation's march towards a knowledge society by nurturing the intellectual growth and sound value systems in students through science education. I personally believe, and in general, all the people in the science discipline believe that science education always go hand in hand with value. So without values, there is no science education. And to fulfill this vision of our institution, we have a mission wherein we realize the empowering and ennobling aims of education through scientific knowledge and research by providing an excellent learning environment with emphasis again on values. So, to take this institution further, to reach many, many milestones, we have a strong team of administration in the institution, wherein the chairman, Sri SNVL Narasimharaju, whom I'm sure yesterday you heard in the inaugural program, is heading the institution, the group of institution, followed by the principal, and we have two vice principals here. One is myself for academics, and the other one is Professor Gayatri Sudhir, who takes care of administration. We have an organizational structure which is somehow named, which is patronized like this. Chairman, principal, and vice principal manage the main show here, but we have a very, very dedicated and a very strong-willed team of heads of the departments and deans of various disciplines. To introduce you to the various deaneries, we have 5 deaneries in the college, which takes care of each discipline, like Dean Administration, Dean Academics, Dean R&D, that is Research and Development, Dean Examination, and Dean HR and Placement. What actually all these deaneries does, along with the very able support of associate deans also. We have associate deans also who are senior faculties of the department, of various other departments. Apart from these deaneries and heads of the department, we have UG coordinators, that is undergraduate coordinators. We have 4 undergraduate coordinators to take care. Since the strength is more in the institution, we have to have 4 different coordinators. 2 coordinators for life sciences, that is one coordinator for microbiology combinations and the other coordinator is for all the biotech combinations. And we have a physical science coordinator wherein electronics, mathematics, physics and computer science will be there. And we have an exclusive BCA coordinator. BCA is a different course other than BSc. So we have a coordinator for BC also. So altogether we have UG coordinators to solve all your problems. They take care of you and your procedures here. And apart from these coordinators, we do have class coordinators who are equivalent to the class teachers. So these class coordinators are combination wise. All the combinations we have, around 12, 13 combinations we have. I'm sure you will be aware of all the combinations what we have in this college. And we have for each combinations the class coordinators. We also have a student welfare officer in place who will help you through getting to know the welfare activities of the college and the scholarships, all those things. We have cultural coordinators to make you sing, dance, and to keep you happy in the campus throughout the 3 years of your stay here. And we do have a very dedicated and a very able teaching fraternity. So these many are the people who are there at your service, right? See, this is for each individual. So each individual is having a backbone strength of all these, starting from the teaching faculty to the coordinators, to the class teachers, to the UG coordinators, deans, heads of the department, vice principals, principal, and chairman. So this is our organizational structure. Apart from these, we do have a sports director to make you play all the sports activities. We have an NCC coordinator and we have an NSS coordinator. We have a chief librarian to help you out with the library activities. And to today's most important person will be like technical and administrative staff. Technical support we have one system admin, that is system administrator, and all the administrative staff in the principal's office are at your service to help you out with any problems you come across. So together with this team, I have few of the achievements to highlight. We have many achievements, but I have listed here only the pioneering achievements, which we were the number one in the entire Oxford group. So these are, we are accredited with A grade twice in 2 cycles by NAAC. I'm sure you would have been familiar with NAAC by now, because while choosing the colleges, you would have Googled out which college is NAAC accredited, with what grade NAAC accredited. This is national accreditation body, which will, it is an national body which is actually going to inspect the college, and various parameters are there to NAAC for grading all these colleges. So 5 years once we do get accredited with this type of body, and 5 years is one cycle, and for 2 cycles we have been consistently rated with A grade. That means to say the parameters what the NAAC demands, we all have achieved it well. And we are also recognized by an international body which is in the United States of America by name International Accreditation Organization. We have been recognized by IAO too. We are permanently affiliated to Bangalore University. Please remember students, we are not autonomous college, we are not a private university, but we run the course with an affiliation of Bangalore University, which is a state university. So at the end of your degree, the certificate you get is from Bangalore University and not from Oxford College of Science. So you are indirectly a university student, Bangalore University student. We have been recognized as a research center under Bangalore University. 4 of the departments, yesterday principal spelled out in her speech that microbiology, biotechnology, biochemistry and computer applications have been recognized. These are the departments recognized, and many more departments have already geared up to get the recognitions too. The UGC, that is University Grants Commission, you have heard of. This UGC has recognized our college under 2F and 12B, wherein we will be supported for various research activities, to attend conferences, to conduct conference, workshop and all. So the college is recognized under UGC too. And we have been continuously ranked among top 10 and top 5. Top 10 among the state and the country, and top 5 in the city. And by various popular magazines, they do have survey, like during admissions you get to have magazines which will have surveys of top 50 colleges in the Bangalore city, top 50 colleges in India or the state or something like that. So India Today, week, all these colleges have been rating us, and we have never left the top 10 or top 5 ranking places there. We have been supported by DST. DST is nothing but your Department of Science and Technology, and we have been supported by DST funds for infrastructure development, and we are really doing well in R&D, that is research. And I told them, these are the undergraduate programs which I'm sure might have confused many of you people to which combination to take, because I think this is the only college offering so many plethora of combinations to you to confuse you, right? But I'm sure you would have chosen the best, what is your interest, based on what is your interest. And we have around 13 different combinations in BSc. And also I would like to tell you that we run postgraduate programs in 12 different disciplines too. Okay, so these are the combinations. With all these things, all these combinations do come under Bangalore University. And now it is time for you to know the scheme of study, which is very important for you to move forward in these combinations. What is the scheme of study? What is the course is? Because recently there was in all the leading newspapers, you might have heard about or you might have read about national education policy. It is a new education policy, national education policy came, and they were all telling that BSc is for 4 years and you have multiple entries, multiple exits in these, and lot of freedom is given to the students in these things. Yes, of course, it is a welcome note to, we are very happy as teaching fraternity to welcome the national education policy, which has a lot of changes based on, it is student centric. Okay. So, but here the course you have taken is a BSc course, that is Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Computer Applications or Bachelor of Fashion and Apparel Design, all these things. This is for 3 years course. It is not for 4 years, it is for 3 years, and this 3 years is divided into 6 semesters. Okay, so each semester is for 6 months, and this is divided into 6 semesters. And there is something called CBCS, Choice Based Credit System. So in this choice based credit system, you have credits to your semesters. So totally, by the time you finish your 6 semesters, you will be rated for the credits of 104 to 108. That is, 2 to 4 credits are varying based on the different disciplines like FAD, that is Fashion and Apparel Design, and BCA and all. What are those credits? How are being rated? How to get all these things, I will tell you in detail. Students, we have 3 parts to study in every year, every semesters and every year of your study. That is, part 1 is the compulsory languages. Languages I need to study? Yes, you need to study languages. That is 2 languages you need to study for your 2 years. Third year, you will be exempted from the languages. So there are 2 languages in part 1. Part 2 is the optional subjects which you all have selected based on your interest. It can be anything: biotechnology, biochemistry, microbiology, genetics, physics, mathematics, chemistry, then electronics, computer science, fashion and apparel. All these things you have studied based on your interest. That makes your part 2. The part 3 is again subdivided into A and B. What is this A and B? A is foundation course, skill development course, interdisciplinary courses. Part B is extension activity and co-curricular activities and extracurricular activities. Part 3, please don't take it very lightly, because for a holistic development of a student, apart from studying only the optionals and languages, it is equally important for any of the student to study this foundation, skill development, co-curricular, extracurricular, right? This is very important. So when you continuously study, and when you lose what is that interest in studies, all these will come into your help. So for a holistic development of any human being, to call yourself educated or graduated, all these are very, very important aspects. So don't neglect the part 3, okay, because it does have credits, it does have evaluation, it does have marks allotment. So you cannot just ignore or sideline the part 3 options. Here I have just made a slide to show you course patterns, scheme of examination, and the credits. How it will be, let us see. Part 1, part 2, part 3 I have made. Subjects, what are the subjects, what are the papers, theory papers and practical papers you will have. Instruction hours, how many instruction hours you will have per week. Then duration, for how much duration you will write these papers, and how the marks will be allotted. Marks will not be allotted in a lump sum. It will be divided. We have a lot of parameters, various parameters to give you marks, to evaluate you in an all-round way. So 2 languages, which will be a part 1, will have 2 theory papers per week. Per week we will have, 2 theory papers, and per week we will have 4 hours. 4 times you will get to meet language people. Duration of the hour, exams will be 3 hours, and for that you will be writing examination for only 70 marks, and 30 remaining marks, which has to make up to 100, will be as internal marks. I have mentioned IA there, it is internal marks. So each paper will be having theory marks as well as internal marks. 70 plus 30 constitute to the total 100 marks. And you will have the credits as 2 into 2 because 2 credits for 2 languages, 4 credits you will have. So accordingly, what happens in 3 optional subjects also the same thing. You will have 3 theory papers, you will have 3 practical papers, each one. Okay, for each optional, you will have one paper. For if you are a PME student, physics one practical paper, then mathematics one practical paper, and electronics one practical paper, and 3 theory the same thing, PME. If you have CBZ, that means chemistry, zoology, and microbiology is NMB, you will have 3 theory papers and 3 practical papers the same way. Same thing, you will have 4 theory hours per week. You will be meeting 4 times your teachers for your theory, and you will have 3 hours of practicals. Fine. So accordingly, the same thing follows here, but there is a small change in the practical IA marks. You will have internal marks for practical also, that is 15 marks, and you will have the exams for 35 marks, and total will be for 50 marks. Okay. So all the 3 subjects. Accordingly, your credits also will be based like this, 3 into 2 and 3 into 1. Part 3, I have just told the foundation course, FC, AECE, AECC, CC and EC. That is foundation course, ability enhancement course. We have environmental sciences. It is very important for any type of graduate, irrespective of whether they are biological science graduates, whether they are physical science graduates or computer science graduates. One should know about environmental sciences, right? Because we do live in it, we exist, our complete existence is in the environment, and it is everybody's duty to safeguard the environment. So you should know about environment. So please study that environmental science also with the same interest as you study optionals, right? So totally, with all these things, you will have 60 credits in the first 2 years. What happens in the third year? Third year, completely there is a change in your system, wherein you will be exempted from languages. The learning of language stops there. It doesn't mean that language is not important for your degree. It means that you would have learned enough of languages there, and it is time for you to apply the learned language in the third year. You will have 3 optional subjects with practicals of 6 credit each and with 2 papers, 2 theory papers. For each optionals, you will have 2 theory papers and 2 practical papers. Since there is an increase in the number of theory and practical, it has been exempted there. The languages and other things will be exempted. Okay, so what is it you study in the part 3 here is interdisciplinary skill development courses you will study. That will be for 3 hours and that will be for 2 credits, right? So totally your credits in the final year will be 20. So adding your credits of 16 and 20, it will all come to your 104 to 108 credits there. Got it? So this is your scheme of studies, wherein in 2 years you will have a different structure with language and other beneficiary subjects, and you will have only optionals in the last year, that is in last 2 semesters. 1 year means 2 semesters because it is 6 months. You will have these things. Hope I'm clear with this, but anytime if you are not clear, you can raise questions at the end. Now, how do we have co-curricular activities, ma'am? What are all the co-curricular activity choices? We have a detailed scheduled orientation complete this week. I'm sure you will be taught how your co-curricular activities should be selected. But nutshell, I will tell you in brief that it will be given combination wise. It is because it is easy to manage the attendance and other things. Combination wise co-curricular activities, also a little bit of freedom will be given to you to select that in your own class. Class teachers are going to help you in selecting all these things, and this is app based online course. You have to do this course online, which will be very, very interesting, and you have to give the report to us. This is an important slide from the student point of view. because you will be always thinking, okay, I understood everything. Now tell me how much I should score for passing. Passing is not just a milestone. Okay, but still, I thought I would put this slide to make students happy here. Okay, we have theory, we have practical. Very clear, very transparent. In theory, whatever number you write the exams for, 35% of that number, okay, should be scored by you to pass the examination. Coming to practicals, whatever number you are giving practicals for, you have to score 40% of the marks to pass in practicals. In theory, it is 35. In practical, it is 40%. But in theory, there is a slight trick here. It is not enough if you just score 35, you will not be passing. In your result sheet, it will come as reappear. Once again, you appear for the examination. Why? Because there is something called internal assessment. Together with internal assessment, your theory score should be 40%. Please mind, your theory score along with 35%, along with the internal assessment, it should be 40%. Otherwise, it will appear in the theory result sheet that you have to reappear. You have not been able to qualify the theory examinations. So internal assessment marks is very, very important. It is as important as your theory marks. Even though you give 35% there, you will not be able to clear, and if you get zero in your internal assessment. Okay, so please watch your internal assessment. How is this internal assessment taken, ma'am? How to watch this internal assessment? I will tell you how to get the internal assessment. Okay, so theory along with internal assessment should be 40%. Practicals is for 40%. Then you are clearing that paper. Okay. This is just to give you an idea to read your answers, result sheet, because it is not like you score this much, it is calculated percentage wise. I scored 70%, I scored 60%, I scored 50%. It was not like that. Now you will be, each semester will be point graded. Grading system is there. Okay, 8-point grading system is there. Let me start with this side because it is not happy to start with this. So I start with this O. Is it looking like O or 0? This is definitely not 0. It is O. O is outstanding. Extremely good you have done. Okay. So this will be, I have put various percentage of marks and grade point also, because you need to, because so far you have been used to read your results in the percentage wise. So outstanding means a candidate is somewhere near 90 to 100%. Okay, so you are outstanding. Same after that, it will be like behind this. So I am coming in a reverse fashion. A candidate is having somewhere around 80 to 90% means they will be graded as A double plus. A double plus. Okay, so your grade point will be equivalent to 8 or 8 to less than 9, because more than 9 and equivalent to 9 will be outstanding. So A double plus. Then behind this is A single plus. A plus, A double plus and O outstanding constitute first class with distinction. I have passed my graduation with first class with distinction. If you like this sentence to be told by yourself or your proud parents and your proud teachers, please adhere to all these three categories. That is A plus, A double plus and outstanding. That will constitute first class with distinction. Coming to first class is if you are somewhere between 60 to 70%, you will be graded as first class, and the grade will be, alpha sign grade will be A. Grade point will be 6 to 7. High second class. You have something to just satisfy you. High second class is second class is second class. What is it high second class and low second class? So keep it in mind, second class means second class. You will be graded as B plus. So you have to improve on this. Your percentage will be somewhere between 55 to 60. And then there is the virtual, real second class. Second class is only B without the plus there. Okay. And I don't think I have to touch upon this next pass class. And I definitely should not be talking about the below 40%, that is D grade. I'm very sure my Oxfordites will not fall into this category of D grade with all these people behind you to help you out. Okay, so this is your result sheet looking like. If you want your result sheet to look in the last 3 quarter, please work hard and give your best. Understood? Now, ma'am, you have been telling about internal assessment. Don't neglect. Please mind your internal assessment and be careful. What is it about? So, whether I should be excellent, good, average, poor, what is it? Yes. You have to score your internal assessment. Nobody will bestow you with the internal assessment. Because generally, I have seen students thinking or discussing. I scored exams were very well, I scored very well, but teachers have not given me internal assessment. My dear students, it is not teachers who give you internal assessment, but it is you who score internal assessment. Okay, so it is all in your hands. How it is in your hands? See, I have listed various things for you. You can score your internal assessment in various platforms because we calculate internal assessment based on all these things. How? We have seminars to be presented by you in the class. We have assignments to be submitted by you. Class test will be there for performance in practical session. It's not that practical means we conduct and you see. It is you conduct and we guide. We supervise, but performance should be with you. Internal examinations will be there. There will be 2 internal examinations per semesters. I will deal with that in detail in the next slide. Group discussions will be encouraged in the class where we want all of you to actively participate in that. That will bring out your potential to ask questions and understand and analyze the learned concepts. Then we have something called problem-based learning. Our teaching learning is very, very wonderfully designed here at Oxford. We have various ways of teaching and learning. We have problem-based learning, we have enrichment programs, we have workshops, we have conference, we have skill-based programs, we have journal clubs, whatnot, to actually enrich more of learning from from different perspectives. Like it is not through the book only we learn through many ways. So problem based learning also I have highlighted here because every student will get to actively participate in all these things. Participation in co-curricular and extracurricular activities, these are whatever I listed now, like your enrichment workshops, conference, all these things will come in your co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Skill you learn, you exhibit, knowledge you have thirst to acquire, all these matters in your internal assessment. And finally, I have put attitude. Okay, so your attitude does matter. Your attitude in all these things. So have a very broad attitude and wear a right attitude as a student and be open to learning always. That will definitely help you out. I told about internal examinations, that is for 25 marks with 1 hour time period, we will conduct 2 internal examinations per subject in per semester. So you will have with for 45 days from the day of reopening, that is if when your class starts from one date, 45th day will be your first internal. Those who want to plan many other things, because it is only after the college starts you have all your personal planning starting. I hope even parents are attending this orientation. If not, please students call your parents also to attend this orientation program, wherein they play a very important role in your student life. Because if parents plan something for your at the family front, that should not be the time wherein we have internal examination. Generally, we will have the first internal examination on the 45th day, but for any unforeseen problem arises, and we may have to schedule a little bit, like we may have to advance this or postpone this plus or minus 7 days, a week here and there will happen. Okay, so you should be making yourself free to attend this. You should not have any prior appointments or plans in your family front. Improvement examination. This improvement examination is there if at all you find yourself not eligible to take the second internals. What do you mean by not eligible to take the second internals? I will let you know how we have to take the second internals. The first internals now for this session is tentatively planned to happen somewhere in the first week of January 2021. By then, we will wipe out all our coronavirus, COVID 19, and we will start a year because 2020 is a forgotten year in all our life, right? So it was a waste year, we would say, but definitely not waste completely. We have learned many things in Corona pandemic. And 2021, we will pull up our socks and be ready with to face all the fresh vibes of 2021. So first week of February, I mean January, will be your first internal examination. Second internal examination will be in the last week of February 2021. So that is how we have planned. As I told you, 3-4 days this side, that side, it may happen because of unforeseen problems. We have improvement examination. Why? Because there is something called minimum 70% attendance and 35% marks in the first internal examination to write the second internal examination. I hope it is clear, but I'll repeat once again. For you people to take the second internal examination, you should be recording minimum of 70% attendance, and also you should compulsorily have a pass marks, that is 35% of marks in your first internal examination, right? If you, for some reasons, if you are not able to pass the first internal examination, you will not have the eligibility to attend the second internal examination. That is why we, to facilitate that, we have kept improvement examination in between. For various reasons like health related issues and unavoidable circumstances in the family. See, human being means you will be having so many issues. So for all these things, we have facilitated improvement examinations, and you can take improvement examination much before the second internals and make yourself eligible. And there is no improvement examination after second internals. Okay, second internal marks is the final, frozen the marks, uploaded in the portal, and once this internal marks is uploaded in the portal, even if we want also, I and you cannot change this internal exam marks. Okay, so that is about your how do you score internal and how do you plan your scheme of study there. Student services, what all we have apart from academics in the college, what all the other things is at your service. We have a beautiful library, really very, very beautiful library, not only to look at beautiful, but well-stacked library. We have all the latest issues, all the latest issues. You can test it. You can test in our library and go out to any bookshop and see the academic books. If it comes to academic books, we have updated ourselves because all the new things what come to all the bookshops, all of them are vendors here, and we have bought from all the book vendors, even in the city, outside the city also. So it is all updated. We have very good library. Please do make use of library. We have department library also other than central library, wherein your question banks are prepared by your teachers and they will help you out to borrow the books. Normal books are also there, and question banks are there, which will facilitate you to prepare in a more deeper way. We have something called NSS. You might have heard of NSS, NCC. NSS is National Service Scheme. National Cadet Corps is NCC. These are all a required element for you to experience your college life. You should be in NCC, you should be in NSS to see what is hidden in you and what can come out of you, what is your potential. That has to be discovered by yourself. Nobody can discover that. So please be a part. More things will be told about these things by your student welfare officers, then I will not be taking time to talk about these things. We have a dedicated placement cell. For people, those who don't have the plan of continuing the education to PG, but eventually you will plan to have PG also. I'm very sure all my UG students will do PG also. So, but we do have placement services. If you want to have the stint of working after a degree and you want to then continue education, you are most welcome to do that, and we will help you in placement. All the eligible students will definitely get a very good service from the placement cell. We do have a placement officer also in place, and they will be talking to you in this orientation shortly. We have student council. Okay, so you are very happy. You can become president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, joint secretary. So you can show your leadership qualities there, and you have a student council to express what you feel. This is not to do strike and go against us. Okay, so this is to, we have made one platform for you to express well. So that means to say that we do listen to you. We are always student centric. So we want the students to be comfortable with us and then learn. So if you are comfortable in the environment, learning becomes easy, the outcome will be very, very good. We do have something called language lab. What is this language lab? You might have heard lab means only science, chemistry is having lab, then physics will be having lab, something like this, computer will be having. What is this language lab? Are we going to do something in language lab? Yes. See, this is one unique opportunity which Oxford is going to give for the students who are from a rural site. Because I just understand that always it is a cosmopolitan crowd in Oxford, that students come from every state of this country. So in every corner, from Jammu Kashmir to Northeast to like West Bengal to Kerala to Tamil Nadu, Andhra, so north, east, south, west, everywhere, from Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, everywhere people come. And students who hail from rural side will be always experiencing a little bit of communicative English there. Some difficulty in that. It's not that who are from rural only should experience this. I have people who are from urban states also who are having one inhibition in the communication, and those people should always be given an opportunity to learn English, because English is a universal language which you communicate, which you understand, because teaching is in English medium here. And once you master on this language, your confidence level will be very, very high. So that we want our students to have a very good confidence when you graduate out and go. So we do have English lab wherein we have softwares. You can actually wear those headphones and learn how to pronounce the certain terms and go about learning your language. You will experience it when you come here. We have various clubs like eco clubs to save our environment. We have science clubs. Being science students, we should have something innovative in science. We have cultural clubs, we have sports clubs. All these will be in depth told by your student welfare officer. We have something which is very sound in technology, which manages entire campus. That is, campus management system is through campus.technology. This campus.technology has helped us to manage very well all the systems here. It was very good before pandemic also, and after pandemic it has done miracles to us, magics to us. Like it maintains our attendance, student attendance, internal examination is through this campus.technology, wherein don't think that internal examination means you can get to know, you can Google out everything, and you can have 2 or 3 mobile phones, your dads, your moms and all kept in front of you, and you can Google out the answers. We have proctoring for that. Same as how you write examination physically here in college, we will make you write examination in an exactly the same way. You will have invigilators also, virtual invigilators who will be watching you. Okay, so we will be watching you always. So internal examination will happen online. Lesson plans are online. We have a system of preparing lesson plans, and you can go to the lesson plan and get ready for the classes much before. Your timetable will be accessible to you through this campus technology. Psychometric analysis we do. The students who come newly, we will ask students to undergo this analysis, and we will try to know you better, a step forward to know our students better. What is it? Whether you are having the fear for the course, fear for your peers, because the new environment, we will try to know what is running in your mind, and accordingly we will plan for you people something which is actually comforting you. We have 360-degree feedback of teachers which you can give on campus technology also. Library, just to show you some pictures. Of course, you will have a virtual tour wherein you will be taken through the campus, and these are their library pictures and all the details, how much we have, what service we can do. I will not touch upon. I will leave it to my chief librarian to talk about it. These are all the facilities in library. Again, I will not go with this. We have e-library facilities also, which you can uh, actually experience in this pandemic time sitting at home. Coming to the final thing, like university exams, you have end of the semester. Every semester ends with the exam. It doesn't end without exam, which happened only in 2020. Our second years and first years enjoyed that the semester ended without the examination. But uh, I'm not sure whether your batch will have that. Definitely, you will come back to us and you will be writing exams, both theory and practicals. Apart from this, we do support lot of research in the college. In-house projects are there. If you are interested in small projects, you can definitely contact your class teachers or your subject teachers and start. We have lot of encouragement for that. We have projects funded by DBT, Department of Biotechnology, India, DST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and projects funded by Government of Karnataka also, like VGST, KSTA. We have SPICE projects, which are nothing but small projects in the college education. We have SSP in UG, that is small science project in undergraduate colleges also. These are all the opportunities. These are only few I have listed here. You can Google out what are all the various funding bodies and you can write projects. Definitely our teachers will be happy to help you out, guide you and assist you in all the things what you want to do as an extra thing. So our sincere request with all of you, appeal to you is attend all the things what happens here. We do conduct workshops, seminars, certificate programs, add-on programs, occasional educational training programs. We do encourage internship for you. Even UG internship is encouraged in various other institutions. So we opportunities are there. You just have to knock. Sometimes opportunities will knock your door. You just have to open the door for these opportunities and make the most of your this 3 years program. Sports, again, you want to play, you want to play indoor, you play, you want to do outdoor, you play. With all these masks and other things, we will play once you come back here. And these are all the things. And again, this will be elaborated by your student welfare officers. Now coming to the main online classes. So from after all these orientation programs and other things, teaching you everything, we will start the class with the online. There are various etiquettes which you have to follow during online children, because we have been witnessing various new problems, I should say, because when we were taking class in the classroom, that was the set of problems which we were aware from many years, and we were prepared to face those problems and solve those problems. But now we also are experiencing some new problems in the online classes. What is it? Before starting the online classes, you have to learn how to navigate a virtual classroom. Otherwise, you will be literally lost. You will not be able to connect with us. Connect with us means not with the internet. Where am I? What happened in the previous class? Where am I? Which teacher is coming here? And where is the teacher not to be seen here and there? And what are the rules and regulations? What they told. So I have listed few things with my experience, what I have understood. What means I'm representing all the teaching fraternity in my college. So all my teaching fraternity have told me that these are all the problems which we come across in the online. So let us go through with this. It is very important that students be prepared for the class before the stipulated time. Preparation, mental preparation, we are asking. We are not asking you to go through the syllabus, their curriculum only, because lesson plan will be given. What lesson? We are not expecting you to learn all these things. We are here for that. We are here to teach you. But your mental preparation is important before you sit for the class. It is very easy for you to be at home and take the class. I have experienced that people will not be prepared for that time. 10 o'clock means 10 o'clock they will switch on the laptop or mobile. Then they will be looking for the link. Where is the link? Then they will message their friend. Arey yaar, where is the link? Where? Which is the class? All those things. So please, 10 minutes before you please, before the stipulated time, 10 minutes before, be mentally prepared to sit for the online class. Download the necessary software and connect devices like your microphones, laptops before you begin the class. Don't be doing mic texting, hello, 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 because half of the time we will spend there like, am I audible? Ma'am, you are not audible, your voice is breaking. So more than the class, the terminologies what we use in the online classes is, am I audible, am I audible, am I visible, all those things. So please don't be adding the additional problems of yours in the online class. Ensure you have enough internet speed and data to take you through the classes. You know, timetable will be given if you are having 3 hours of class, which is of 50 minutes or 55 minutes. Please make sure your internet speed is good, your data is there. Don't use off your data to watch movies in your free time, because anyway it's pandemic time, you're at home and you will be watching movies. My data got over. You cannot ask data with your parents once again, because parents would have provided you with sufficient data, and then thereby you start missing the class. Parents, I'm sure you are listening to me. Please provide them the proper data with the proper internet speed. That will be very, very great help from your side for us to accomplish what we are missing physically here. Students should also exit other applications in their computer and before they start. You know what? If you are having all those applications open, they will be popping out. The message will be popping out in your screen, which is a very, very distraction, because that will be more attractive to you. And the moment it pops, you will minimize my class and you will go to the other window, which will be quite interesting. So please don't have all those options. When we do take class, when we teachers take class, we see to that we keep our phone in flight mode. And please ask your friends and relatives not to call you on the phone when you are taking the class. They also know that you are a student, your classes have started, your college has started, and ask them not to disturb. Put up as your status, kindly don't disturb, classes started. Don't call me from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock or 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, whatever the class timings are there. Please take all these precautionary measures. Okay. Opt for a quality headset to avoid the background noise. Avoid using your keyboard. Pick up your notebook and pen and take notes instead. I have seen this. This is the common thing. When you sit in front of a laptop, you will sit as though you are sitting in an auditorium or you are sitting in a movie to watch movie. Your teacher is not coming and dancing here and to entertain you here. Okay. So she is going to teach you something. He or she is going to teach you something. And please have the habit of having a notebook and a pen to note down whatever points the teacher teaches. Because you have to elaborate that on that and make your own notes. Right? So it is not that I have seen very comfortably, you will put leg on leg and you will put as though you are watching a drama or watching a movie or something like that. Don't do that. Mute your microphone when you are not talking, because there will be some noises at the background. There is nothing more frustrating than hearing an alien echo noise when we are teaching and conflicting with that. I myself had experienced all these things, because sometimes some students are not muting and there is all of a sudden one Bollywood song singing in their background. We cannot ask people to, if you are taking class, the entire family cannot take class with you, because they have their own life for them. So they can hear to the music, but if you mute, that will be more helpful for the class. Before a virtual classroom session begins, make sure you eliminate environmental distractions that may divert your attention away from learning. Okay. Adjust your work setup so that you face a window, you have plenty of air, light, all those things. Because in a closed room, it may put you to sleep. It should not happen in such a way that at the end of this class, you will be finding yourself slept off. Then again, you will get up the meeting got over and they will be locked out. See, if you have enough air to breathe, then cross ventilation should be there. You should have enough light when you sit. Don't darken your room to sit for the class. Okay? That means you should make sure your background is professional and work appropriate. When I say you make your background professional, they will put up the virtual background. Virtual background. I have seen many of my students are taking class sitting on the London Bridge, or somebody will go beyond this and they will sit under the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower is their virtual background. London Bridge is their virtual background. And some would have gone beyond this to sit in the romantic beach to take class. Will I not know that you are neither in Paris, nor in London, nor in the beach? I know very well. Then why to put fake virtual backgrounds there? Right? It will be like as though you are appearing from the sea. You are appearing somewhere from the Eiffel Tower. Your face will be stuck in the Eiffel Tower, right? So we don't want that. We want to see that to more. Now we have, since we have not met each other, I want to see your clear face. How do you look at? How do you look like? Because I have to identify you when you come down to college after a month or so. So virtual background is not required. It can be as plain as how is my background here, or it can be as plain as a plain wall. Don't ask your parents to paint your wall for make your virtual background bright. So choose a place. Definitely you will be having four walls in your house. Choose a plain wall as a virtual background, as a background for your class. No beds will be there, made or unmade. Often it will be unmade because you will just get up and bring your laptop on your lap and take the class. So no unmade beds. You are not sitting on the bed to take your class. Please mind, because that will put you to sleep. And no messy rooms, no open closet where everyone can see your clutter. Why I am telling, because you don't have a habit of keeping your closets clean, right? Your no messy rooms means I am telling you, you have to have a habit of keeping your room tidy. Okay, so get up early in the morning, do all this work and choose a place to sit in your room and then open up your laptop and take the class. Please, students, wear clean clothes and dress up neat to the class. That will definitely bring a very big change in your mind. Okay? Getting up, wearing a clean cloth, take bath, dress up neatly, and then sit for the class. Okay? Clear the room of playful pets or noisy siblings. If you have a dog, if you have a cat, if you have anything other than dog and cat, please don't keep them beside you. And please don't pet them now and then. When the dog is making noise, I don't want any pets to listen to my class. I want my students to listen to my class. Eliminate the background noise by turning off the TV and radio. Turn off the cell phones. No multitasking during the class. I should not be seeing one person chatting with one of their friend and again taking the class in the laptop. Don't do that. And more importantly, avoid eating while the class is in progress. I have seen people continuously eating. Because you are at home, it doesn't mean that you have to eat. Parents, please don't feed your children while the class is on. No problem if they don't make it up with the breakfast. They have to get up early and finish their breakfast and sit. If at all there is no breakfast eaten, please don't eat in the class. There will be break, 5 minutes, 10 minutes break will be there. You can go get up, eat and come back. Students should use their real names. This is one very, very problematic for us. Because all the students will save and log in through their pet names. Rimmi, Nimmi, Shimmy, Bunnu, what all names will be there. So I don't want all those pet names. So please put on your complete name with your surnames. Okay. So if you are having your name, proper names with the surnames, please put on your surnames also, and please log in with that original name. And also an extension for this, please put on your photos. I see some something, one skeletal face with one hood there and with one sword there as their DPs. I see Spider-Mans as their DPs. I see movie actors, Shah Rukh Khan, then Aishwarya Rai, and so on. So somebody, Jacqueline Fernandez as their DPs. I don't want their DPs. I want your photographs and your real names to be there in your login, right? Your good manners should carry over to online classes also, students, and you must behave properly during the classes. It's not, don't annotate when we are screen sharing, don't underline the words when I'm screen sharing, not only me, your teachers, and please behave in a very decent way. Address the teacher and other virtual school student, like your classmates, in a respectful manner, even when disagreeing. Nowadays, I have been observing, even virtually and physically also, that concept of addressing the teacher is going off. Like, good morning, madam. It started with good morning, madam. Now, good morning is going off. Hello, madam came. That is also acceptable. Hello, madam. Now, the trend is, hi, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. How are you? And now the latest trend is, because it is WhatsApp messaging, because they are all contacting the teachers through WhatsApp, there is no addressing of a teacher at all. Hi, I have to come to college. Can you please tell what time the college starts? There is no madam at all. There is no ma'am at all. Why? Madam remains madam only, no? Whether it is virtual or physical. So please inculcate the habit of addressing. Even today, if I have to communicate to my PhD supervisor or my teacher of post graduation or undergraduation, first thing is, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, madam. Hope you are doing fine. Ma'am, I had some queries. Ma'am, can I please do that? That every time and again we will use ma'am, madam, sir. Sir, are you keeping good? Sir, is it the right time to speak to you? I have seen in while this WhatsApp has really spoiled our habits, I think. Nobody minds to address the teacher in a proper way. Address anybody in a proper way, I'll tell you, students, we can definitely have communication without addressing a person throughout, but we cannot have a relationship with a person without addressing them. No doubt you can have communication, but relationship develops only when you address them. Okay, we are here to develop a relationship with you. Teacher student relationship is the best relationship we have in this earth, right? So, always teacher will be a giver and always student will be grateful to the teacher. Please have the habit of addressing a teacher as a teacher. Okay, according to your modern terminologies, ma'am is also fine with us, but please do address. Okay, focus on the classroom conversation and activities. Don't go away from the classroom conversation and spend your time, because whether it is Zoom or Microsoft Teams or any platform, this will always not allow you to simply chit chat unwanted things. We are time bound here. Take notes on the information presented. Ask relevant questions to clarify the material covered or the assignment given. Okay. Make sure you know how to raise the virtual hand in online classes and wait to be recognized when responding to a question or comment. Simply don't go on raising your voice and repeating things, because it irks in the virtual class. While answering questions during online classes, keep your answers short and relevant to the topic. Students can also note their opinions across by typing a message in the chat box. Once again, this chat box is again a nuisance. Chat box is here to express. Suppose I am not audible to you, you are not audible to me, then we use chat box to ask questions. But I have seen when I am taking classes, am I audible, students? Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Am I still audible? Yes, ma'am, you are audible. I'll be audible throughout. The moment I want to ask questions, and now I will ask questions, it will be a quiz or something test like, now come on, X answer, Y answer. Ma'am, you are not audible. Ma'am, your voice is breaking. Suddenly, when I ask questions, my voice will be breaking. Suddenly, when I give test, my video will go off, my question paper will disappear from the screen. All these things happen. Now we know these are all the bahanas what you are doing making, and we will not allow you to do so in online also. Okay. Few things are there which will I quickly go through, which you have to remember, whether online, offline, whatever it is. Every student of this college has to have 85 percentage of attendance. Minimum is 75. The moment I say minimum is 75, they will try to keep maximum as 75. No, maximum is not 75, minimum is 75%, and you will not be allowed to forward your application for examination if you don't have minimum of 75%. Maximum is 100%. Okay. Students are supposed to wear ID cards when you come here. Our security will not allow you to enter the college. That is all when you come physically. But I will not be getting once again orientation. That's why I'm telling you all these things. College timings, very important. We work from 9 to 3:30 according to your timetable and all. It is 3:30. Some cases when you have practical classes, there is an extension of 1 hour till 4:30. So it is 9 to 4:30. Not always. Many of the theories only will be winded up by 3:30, and 4:30 means you will have some practical classes or some enrichment programs or some add-on programs, something like that. First and third Saturdays are holidays for Science College. So you will have 15 days once holidays on Saturdays. Latecomers will not be allowed to attend the classes, whether it is online or offline. Okay. So students are expected to utilize the facilities of library, and please read the library, make use of the library. Attend both the internal test without fail, be it on a priority list. If you are having anything in the family, anything planned for yourself, internal test is a priority for you, which you will not get once again if you miss that. Okay. Please do develop healthy competitive spirit. Now, with all these things, once you come here, you will be having so many queries, so many problems, other things and all. So these are all the people who are there to help you. If in case any issues, please do contact your class coordinators first. In that order I have mentioned. Please contact your class coordinators first for any of the problems. If your class coordinators fail to resolve this problem, or if they forward this problem to anybody, it will be next as UG coordinators. If UG coordinators are not able to solve, then next we vice principals are there, myself and Professor Gayatri Sudhir, we are vice principals of academics and administrative formalities. Please do contact us. And then the last person to be contacted in the campus will be the principal if all of us fail to solve your problems. Okay. People will be there. Directly they will go to principal. Then principal have to call the class coordinators, UG coordinators, vice principals to see why these issues have not been addressed. So you will be again tagged to us. So before going to the principal, please do go through all these people. Then only contact principal. Any questions I have put a slide? Definitely you will have questions, but I'm sure all these questions will be answered partially or completely with this orientation program. I'm sure you all will be having this orientation schedule in your WhatsApp group or in the mail. So please attend all these orientation without fail. Okay. So you will be getting all your queries solved here. We will have bridge course also after this. Bridge course is designed to make you fit into the courses what you have taken. Suppose some people who haven't studied the subject at all, for example, I will take microbiology or biotechnology, you wouldn't have studied in your 10th and plus 2. It will be a new subject for you. So for them, we will do that in such a way that you will fit all the basic things we will be teaching in the bridge course. Soon the bridge course syllabus also will be shared with you, and we will, if at all you would have studied also, it will be like a revision class. It is like a recalling class. Oh yeah, this I have studied in 10th. Yes, I have studied in first PU or in 11th or 12th. We will be, it will be a recap class or a revision class or a reminder class for you people. And if you attend bridge course, your journey throughout your 3 years course in your respective subject will be very smooth. If you do not attend bridge course, definitely you will be lost in your course. Okay, so please, without fail, do attend the bridge courses, and we have various other activities lined in. And for the people who are having questions in your mind, which language to take, we will have a language mela wherein all the students will be guided, supervised to take the languages, and you can decide on that. And with that, I thank all of you for patiently hearing to me, joining me through YouTube, though not directly in the meeting. And I hope I have made some things clear to you. And few things which are not clear, you can always get back to me, because anything on curriculum, I'm there to solve at this end. You can contact me through email, through phone, or through any platform which college is giving, and I'll definitely try to solve all your queries. So till we meet again, I wish all of you a very very safe staying at home, and very soon please come back to us physically. I'm waiting to see all of you, and we can plan all the practicals and other things physically, and get to meet new faces, and you get to meet me. Okay, so till then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.